My name is Colin Heffernan. I'm the Manager of Industry and Community Engagement for econext. Our organization is pleased to partner with CIOOS on today's session on responsible use of AI in the Building Bridges program. For those of you who aren't familiar with econext is the Environmental Industry Association for Newfoundland and Labrador. Our goal or our objective here is to accelerate clean growth in Newfoundland and Labrador. We work in a range of sectors, including clean tech, renewable energy, the circular economy, and also ocean technology. We work with our member businesses and a number of stakeholders to reach their net zero objectives, including emissions reductions, energy efficiency, and waste diversion. As the Environmental Industries Association for Newfoundland and Labrador, we'd like to respectfully acknowledge the land on which we work as the ancestral homelands of the Beothuk, whose culture has been lost forever and can never be recovered. We also acknowledge the island of Kitaknakuk, Newfoundland, as the unceded traditional territory of the Beothuk and the Mi'kmaq, and we recognize Labrador as the traditional and ancestral homelands of the Innu of Nitassinan, the Inuit of Nunatsiavut, and the Inuit of Nunatuavut. We recognize all First Peoples who were here before us, those who live with us now, and the 7 generations to come. As First Peoples have done since time immemorial, we strive to be responsible stewards of the land and to respect the cultures, ceremonies, and traditions of all who call it home. As we open our hearts and minds to the past, we commit ourselves to working in a spirit of truth and reconciliation to make a better future for all. So, quick and dirty on CIOOS. CIOOS stands for the Canadian Integrated Ocean Observing System, and CIOOS is Canada's nucleus for integrated ocean science and observing activities. Shayla, Yan, and Alex are all with the organization. They're located in Halifax, Nova Scotia. We're thrilled to partner with CIOOS today and have these 3 folks with us to share more about their organization and to also talk about the Building Bridges initiative. Before I hand it over to Shayla, I just want to get a couple of housekeeping notes in for everybody here. This is going to be a mics off event, so we please ask that everybody stay muted for now. This will be a moderated question and answer session at the end of the 3 presentations that Shayla, Yan, and Alex are going to give us today. What we'd like for you to do is we'd like for you to ask your questions in the chat. And what we'll do is after the 3 presentations, we'll go back to the question and answers and the questions we have in the chat. And we'll pull them up and we'll pose them to Shayla, Alex, and Yan. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Shayla Fitzsimmons. I will let Shayla introduce herself. Because I've lost my place in my notes. But anyhow, sending it over to Shayla to start us off this morning, please.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Colin. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us this morning. As Colin mentioned, my name is Shayla Fitzsimmons, and I am the Executive Director of the Atlantic region of the Canadian Integrated Ocean Observing System. Next slide, please. So I just want to start by acknowledging and respecting the First Nation, Métis, and Inuit peoples on whose traditional territories CIOOS work is conducted. We strive for respectful relationships with all Indigenous peoples as we search for collective healing, true reconciliation, and honoring these beautiful lands and seas together. Myself and my colleagues, Alex and Yan, are located in Kjipuktuk, Halifax, Nova Scotia, the traditional and unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq peoples. Next slide, please. So before we dive into building bridges, which is the main topic of our conversation today, I did just want to take a moment to introduce CIOOS in a little bit more detail for anyone in the audience who might not be familiar. Next slide, please. So as Colin said, at CIOOS, our vision is to become Canada's nucleus for ocean observing, making connections for a sustainable ocean future. And as I'm sure some of you in the audience are aware, it's really expensive to observe the ocean. The instruments aren't cheap. Deploying them and retrieving them can have a number of issues. And then, of course, the harsh conditions of the ocean can cause unexpected maintenance. And then once you have all this really expensive data, too often it sits on a hard drive or it sits on a USB stick in someone's office. But that data has purpose beyond the reason it was originally collected. A lot more value can be derived from it. So while we at CIOOS don't collect data ourselves, we do work with data collectors to help apply national and international best practices for data management and data standardization, and to make that data available through an open online platform so that other people can derive value from it, so that you can derive value from it in the future, and we can really maximize the impact of these investments. Next slide, please. And this leads me into our mission, which is to foster partnerships and grow a powerful online platform that generates information, knowledge, and place-based solutions to advance our understanding of the ocean. Next slide, please. So CIOOS is a national organization. So I am with the Atlantic region, but we currently consist of 2 other regions, including the Gulf of St. Lawrence and the Pacific, as well as a national coordinating office. And we're also a regional alliance with the Global Ocean Observing System, and are one of many ocean observing systems contributing to the international effort to better understand our ocean. So by making Canadian ocean data fair, that is findable, accessible, interoperable, and reusable, CIOOS can help researchers meet the open data requirements of funders. We can fill vital gaps in global observations by increasing the visibility of Canadian data, and we can help government, industry, nonprofit, and all sectors build a strong foundation for evidence-based decision-making that supports sustainable ocean health and economic growth. Next slide, please. So as a national organization in a country with really extremely strong ocean expertise, collaboration and coordination are our bedrock, right? We are built using a bottom-up approach because we wanted to ensure that we have not only a cohesive national system that meets, but also one that meets distinct regional needs. There's a couple of animations on the slide, Jan, if you want to click through them. So that's excellent, thank you. So not only do we work across the country, but as I mentioned, we also work across sectors to unite the knowledge, to unite expertise, and to unite digital infrastructure with partners in government, academia, nonprofit, and industry. Because we truly do want CIOOS to be a system that is built for and also built by the ocean community. So feedback is not just welcomed, it's encouraged, and we will be making every effort to address user concerns and issues that we receive as we move forward. Next slide, please. So at CIOOS, we do have a few different tools to help people who are collecting data and to help people who are looking to use data. The first being a metadata entry form, which is a web-based tool that enables users to kind of step through metadata creation one field at a time. And then to kind of explore data, we have the CIOOS Data Explorer, which is a map-based exploration and discovery platform that allows users to filter, aggregate, and download ocean data. And the really nice thing about that particular platform is it will only give you data points that meet your criteria. So you don't have to download a full data set where maybe only 10% of it is relevant. We also have the catalog map, which provides a simplified geographical representation of CIOOS data holdings, including the data set information, and the data catalog, which allows users to filter keywords and search the full collection of CIOOS data sets from across Canada, which right now numbers at about 2,600. And that is from 100 or so partners spanning 100 different years. So there's quite a depth and variety of data in the system. And we're constantly adding more. So that's who we are at CIOOS and what we do, our core activities. But what we also do is we often seek additional funding to help expand our offerings, to do kind of supplemental activities that help us branch out into new sectors and new technologies and provide new benefits. Next slide, please. And so that one of those projects, one of those additional grants that we've received is our main topic of conversation today, building bridges. So this project is funded by Canada's Ocean Supercluster, and it's a collaboration of 4 national academic and not-for-profit partners from across Canada. So that's CIOOS Atlantic via Dalhousie University, Ocean Networks Canada, the St. Lawrence Global Observatory, and the Hackeye Institute. Next slide, please. And what we're seeking to do through this project is to develop resources, all free and all open source, that really accelerate the adoption of artificial intelligence in the ocean sector, with the particular focus on connecting organizations with tools and with information that they really need so that they can understand and seize on the opportunities offered by this technology. And we're doing that by taking a holistic view of what we like to call kind of the high-level artificial intelligence pipeline, starting with opportunity identification and then ending with development and deployment of models. Next slide, please. Now, when I say opportunity identification, really what I mean is AI literacy, the ability to understand and evaluate artificial intelligence tools so that you can use them thoughtfully and responsibly. Because AI is here, right? It's not going away. You hear about it in the news all the time. And as we all know, it's becoming more and more pervasive in our daily lives and providing more and more opportunities for our work as well. And some people even compare AI literacy to the early days of digital literacy. What was once honestly a bit of a niche subject in schools is now critical to curriculums worldwide. Children have to learn about computers in order to navigate the world. And the same is becoming true for artificial intelligence. So by developing your AI literacy, it can help you navigate the different tools that are out there. It can help you answer questions like, what is AI? What can it do for me or my organization? When is and when isn't it the right tool for the job? Next slide, please. So to that end, a number of the resources we're developing as part of Building Bridges are aimed at increasing AI literacy. And to ensure we are covering relevant topics and providing information that people actually need, the first thing we did was we engaged. We talked to people, we talked to organizations, we asked what works, what doesn't work, what are the gaps, the needs, the opportunities, the challenges, what makes it easier for you to work with AI, and what makes it harder. And from that needs assessment, what we heard is that quite a few people don't even know where to start. They don't understand what AI is. They don't know how it works. They don't know what the possibilities or the limitations are, but they do want to understand. So to help address this gap, we've hosted workshops to bring the ocean community together, to connect people, and to provide a forum to talk about opportunities, with the first workshop focusing as an introduction to AI, and the second on the ethics of artificial intelligence. We also partnered just earlier this month with Neopar for a third workshop, which explored specific use cases that can help us understand and predict the ocean. The recording for the first two workshops are posted on the CIOOS YouTube channel, which you can access through the QR code here. So I do encourage you to check that out. Next slide, please. We're also developing training materials to help address those gaps and those challenges that we identified. So we're developing several case studies that highlight really interesting use cases of AI in the ocean sector. We're producing several self-directed online courses, which are available through the Udemy platform. And we're developing a primer to provide guidance on responsible and ethical AI governance. So that last one, if you're not familiar with the term, is really just a way to use the methods and frameworks or to access methods and frameworks that organizations can use to responsibly manage artificial intelligence so that they can help you, these methods and frameworks can help you ensure that your model is working as intended, help you ensure that you're minimizing your costs and risks, and help you learn how to increase the explainability and transparency of your model. Next slide, please. So moving along our AI pipeline from opportunity identification, the next component is really all about data, because data is foundational for AI. If you don't have good data, you won't get good results. And lack of quality data and low volume of available data is a barrier that we've seen in the ocean sector. It's a barrier that we've heard people talk about, and it's a barrier that we've seen in the literature as well. So you need large volumes, and you need to ensure that your data is accurate and doesn't contain biases. To help address that, what we're doing through Building Bridges is developing and implementing automated tools for data transformation. So for example, tools to automatically extract metadata from text. And we're also integrating data itself into CIOOS. So you can come to the platform and find the data that you need to train and validate and run your model. So as part of Building Bridges, we have some annotated images that have been integrated. And we're also focusing really specifically on acoustic data, since that's an area of high development with AI. Next slide, please. And last but not least is model development and deployment. So as part of this project, we are developing several models. We have muscle mapping using drone footage, which is being developed by our partners at the Hackeye Institute, detection and of anomalies in hydrophone data being developed by our partners at Ocean Networks Canada, and the use of agentic AI to enhance data discovery, which we're working on at CIOOS Atlantic, and a tool that allows users to explore gap filling or data imputation, and to apply that to their own data. Because of course, there are a number of different algorithms that you can use to fill the gaps in your data. And you need, of course, you would like to choose the one that fits your data the best, that provides the best results, and then apply that to your own data. One thing I do want to mention around model development and deployment is that not every organization needs to create their own model. It's not always going to be the best use of resources for what you're doing. If you have the expertise in-house, or if you have the capability to hire it and manage it, then that's fantastic if there's nothing out there that fits your needs. But there's so much development in this field that often you'll be able to find an organization or a model that already meets the goal that you're trying to achieve, and you'll be able to adopt that rather than create something from scratch. So as you can see, this really is quite a large project with a lot of moving parts, but we're really excited to share the progress we've made. It's been a lot of work, but we've got quite a few things out there already, and we're really excited for the benefit these tools and resources can bring to the ocean community. And with that, I'm going to pass the spotlight to my colleague, Alex, who will speak in more detail about the self-directed online courses that I mentioned.
Hey, Shayla. Hi, everyone. My name's Alex. I'm the training lead with Building Bridges. So I help develop the different learning materials and learning opportunities around wrapping our heads around AI, kind of no matter what your role is, what your context is, what your level of expertise. This is new to most of us, if not all of us, and it's becoming newer every day. So my job is to try and help make some of this accessible, or at least a little more accessible than just trying to do this on your own. Luckily, we have a great framework with the Building Bridges project. So I'm going to spend the next 9 minutes or so telling you a little bit more about some of what we have on offer and our thinking behind it. We go to the next slide, please. You can just hit once or twice. So artificial intelligence, it's an emerging technology. It's not new. There's a lot of flashiness around it. There's a lot of hype. People are really excited about it. There's a lot of money to be made out of it. But it's not completely new. There's a lot of things that many of us have probably been doing for a long time that we're now calling artificial intelligence, but it's a big umbrella. There's a lot of murky definitions and people using the same words for different things or with kind of murky meanings. So it can be really tricky to have a really strong definition or sense of what exactly AI is. And it has a lot of potential. There's a lot of different kinds of AI. There's a lot of really cool things that it has the capability to do with a lot of effort, or maybe it's becoming more accessible depending on the application. But there's also a lot of uncertainty around it. For many of us, we're not quite sure, as Shayla mentioned, how we can use it safely or responsibly, or if it's even something that is going to be helpful for us, if it is worth investing time or money or other resources in. And it's not the most accessible. There are some tools like ChatGPT or some of the other LLMs that have a little bit less of a barrier to entry, but for a lot of these kinds of tools, that's not always necessarily the case. And especially if you're trying to enter into this subject as someone who is new to it, like myself when I started this job, it can be a lot because there's a lot out there and a lot of people have a lot of things to say about it. You click down twice, yeah. So understandably, you may have a couple of different reactions. You might be really excited about it. You might be really interested in what it can do for you or for your work, or you might be really anxious about it. And that's one of the things that we're finding when we've been talking to people is that there is some excitement around it, but there tends to be more anxiety around it because it's not very well understood necessarily with everyone that we talk to. So as Shayla mentioned, there's a very easy comparison between when the internet started becoming more and more a part of everything that we do, not only at work, but in our personal lives compared to 20 years ago or so. There's a big difference in how we go through the world and how we interact with the internet. And you can come up with many different kinds of parallels. But for this particular emergence of AI, it might have a lot of fundamental changes in how we work and how we go through our daily lives, and not just a new tool or a couple of different new tools. Next slide, please. So as I said, there's a big range of how familiar we are with these subjects, how much we have worked with it ourselves. There's going to be a range from, oh, I have used some of the AI features on my phone, or I tried ChatGPT or Perplexity once, to people who are working in it every day. And it has a lot of different meanings to a lot of different people. This was a word cloud that we made together at one of our previous workshops. Um, so it can be really hard to be on the same page with each other about what exactly this all means for us. Next slide. This is another exercise that we like to do at those workshops, where basically on this picture of a beach, if the shore is kind of still really new to this, not quite familiar with a lot of the AI world, where versus being in the water where you're swimming in it every day, or maybe you're doing backstroke. We get people to place themselves, kind of self-assess their level of expertise or familiarity, and it's kind of all over. Some people are like standing way back on the shore. Some people are, elbow deep in it. Some people are just kind of getting their feet wet. And there's a good spread of how familiar we are with all this stuff. But it's good to know that kind of no matter where you are in this, there are other people who are in the same spot as that. They may not necessarily have the exact same context, but they're in the same boat with you in terms of trying to figure out what this all means for them. Next slide, please. So Shayla touched on AI literacy. This is, as she mentioned, um, how we understand how it works, and how we can navigate having AI in the world around us. So even if we're not using it specifically, like the internet, we kind of have to know our way around it, or we have to know a little bit about how it works, because things will start to use it more and more. But luckily, AI literacy builds on a lot of existing literacies that we have. Like digital literacy or data literacy or media literacy, all of these different skills that we've already accumulated, this is building on those. So we're not starting from scratch with a lot of these. And there's a lot of pieces in this that are going to be familiar for us. Next slide, please. So you can exist all across this different spectrum of engagement with AI. There are going to be different aspects to AI literacy that are going to be more relevant for you, or whatever your context is, whatever your work is. There are going to be some pieces like the ethics or the critical literacy that are going to be relevant no matter how you're interacting with AI. So there are some subjects in this that are worth engaging with a little further, if that's not been part of your formal education or your informal education, um, to help you better be prepared for whatever the future looks like with this in it. Next slide, please. So as Shayla mentioned before as well, one of the things that we're doing is hosting some workshops. We've had a couple of online webinars back around this time last year. We had a 3-session workshop that acted as introduction to AI and our project, talking a little bit about AI readiness, and a whole session that was just lightning talks of different ocean AI applications. Those are all recorded on our YouTube channel. I've got a QR code there too. Maybe Shayla can stick the link in the chat for those who don't have a ready camera. We also had a really, really interesting session back in the spring on AI ethics, where we had a panel session with 3 practitioners of AI ethics who really love to talk about this stuff. Really interesting session that was also recorded. Would highly recommend checking it out. And a couple of in-person sessions as well, which is always challenging when we're talking about digital things like this. Let's go to the next slide, please. Just keeping my eye on the time. So another piece, one that I am primarily associated with, is the online courses. We have the QR code to our current course that's there on Udemy. So it's focusing this particular one on the fundamentals of AI literacy. So I'm just trying to demystify a lot of the basic terms and concepts, trying to introduce some of the common types or flavors of AI, particularly around machine learning, and just to be kind of an on-ramp to what's going on in this space and what the different pieces of this all look like. They're on your own time. I'm just sorry, that's my timer. I'm just a talking head on it, so I'm not there at the same time as you're doing it, but that means that you're able to do it at your own pace as well. And it is completely free, so you can do it. I wouldn't recommend doing it all at once, but you can do it over a couple of weeks and come back to it, or however you like. We've also compiled a bunch of different external learning resources according to whatever subject they're tackling or level of expertise, because there's a lot of really high quality learning resources that already exist out there. And so we're not trying to reinvent the wheel, but our focus is to have it with that ocean application, and be able to tailor it as much as possible and flavor it as much as possible to how you may encounter these kinds of tools in your lines of work, working in ocean stuff. Currently, we're developing our second course that's focused around ethics. So that will be launching, we're planning before the end of the year. So keep an eye out for that if you are interested in the ethics piece, and also check out our previous webinar around that. I think that is it for my slides. No, I've got one more, sorry. But I'll speed through that. What we're doing as well is building a community of practice, because this is the important part, is actually getting us to talk to each other about how we're tackling AI, how we're experiencing it, the problems we're having, and my colleague Yan can tell you a lot more about that.
Thank you, Alex. Hi, everyone. My name is Yan Chen. I'm the community coordinator for the Building Bridges community of practice. And in this final part of our presentation, I'll share more details about the community of practice. I'll explain its purpose, how you can benefit from being part of it, and then we will watch a walkthrough video together, and hopefully it will help you to get familiar with the community's layout and learn how to navigate it. So the Building Bridges community of practice is designed as an open, vibrant, and collaborative space for practitioners, researchers, policymakers in the ocean sector to share knowledge, build literacy, and create pathways that make AI technology approachable, ethical, and effective. So we achieve this goal by connecting people and facilitating knowledge sharing. This including exchanging knowledge and insights to build a strong foundation, providing access to data tools and AI models for hands-on experience, and creating opportunities to collaborate with other community members on the future ocean solutions. More specifically, this community has 4 main features. We have the resource center, where we will share all these wonderful resources we developed for the Building Bridges project in the past 1.5 years. That's including the free online courses, the previous workshop recordings, the data tools and the AI models, and the case studies. Those things my colleagues have been introduced. From now on, like in the future, we hope this space will keep growing when all the community members can share their own resources as well. We also have the conversation section, including a discussion board, a dedicated space for people to ask AI experts questions, and a place that the organization can showcase themselves and the wonderful work projects they did in the past. This community also supports the direct messages, which means if you're interested in talking to a specific person, the community member, you can just send the direct message privately. We also have some spaces for like the community functionalities, like the members that they can share their upcoming events, the career openings, and the funding opportunities. As a host of the community, we will keep organizing the community events and some interactive activities, could be virtual or in person, to facilitate the community engagement. You may still curious about how exactly you can benefit from being part of this community. And we have been talking to many different organizations. They may working on different things at the different stage of their AI journey. They may have different needs. So in the next part, I'll discuss about the frequently asked and discussed questions. So some organizations we talked to, they say, oh, we're not AI expert yet. We don't know how to program. We don't know how to code, but we are interested in the general AI topic because this is just the big thing at this moment. So the community could be a perfect place for these people to start to learn about AI. All these free resources my colleagues mentioned, such as the AI literacy course for the non-experts to understand what is AI, how it can be used in the ocean sector. We also have other resources like the workshops, the case studies of how people to have the big picture, as well as these smaller pieces. More importantly, these people or the organizations can connect to other organizations who may at the same stage as them, so they can exchange the learning pathways and the challenges and the solutions together. We also talked to some organizations. They said, okay, we have a lot of data that we collected in the past. They may not be used at the full potential, but now with the opportunity offered by AI, we would like to explore more. So this community can help them to learn the great examples from the case studies or the workshops or anything shared by other organizations. They can also try these existing tools and models to see whether that works for their data. And more importantly, they can connect with other organizations who have the AI capacity and expertise or develop these models, so they can connect it together and work on some projects. And for those organizations who already know AI well and have been used AI for a while, they can use the community to access to more data for their training work or their projects. They can also connect to other organizations who may have the data they need. And those organizations will also be the AI champions for this community who can share their expertise and help to lead this work in this sector. And they can also connect with other AI champions to learn from each other and collaboratively to push the edge forward. We also talked to some organizations. They say, oh, we probably not have a plan to use these sophisticated AI models. Maybe we don't have the data, but we're interested in how to use these generative AI tools such as ChatGPT to help with our office tasks, daily work. So these kind of topics are also very important part of the community's discussion. We're not only focusing on these data or the AI models. We hope this place will include all the different topics around the AI, the big topic. So in the future, we may have some activities or events like workshops or like informal coffee chat to discuss about these topics and get people together to share their experiences. We also talked to some organizations. They are actually hesitating about using AI tools because they're not sure about the potential negative impacts the AI industry, data industry could bring to the environment. So these high-level topics about AI are also included in this community. As my colleague has already mentioned, we talked about the AI ethics, the workshops around that, the courses, and now we are developing the AI governance document. We will also discuss about the societal impacts of the AI tools in this community. So if you're interested in these high-level topics, hopefully you can find all the discussion in this community as well. We also talked to some organizations who may not really working on the ocean sector, maybe some relevant areas like the coastal or the environmental related issues, and they're curious about whether this community is still relevant to them. The answer is yes, because first we believe everything is connected. What's happening in the deep sea, the ocean, can eventually impact the coastal lands and the broader environment. And more importantly, the technology, like AI, those are universal and transferable. So one model developed and trained for one purpose can be easily trained by another type of data and then used for another purpose in another area. So we do believe that these organizations can still benefit from the knowledge, the examples, the experiences shared in this community for their work as well. Finally, let's take a look at the walkthrough video about the community's webpage. You can use the link here or the QR code to explore the community after this webinar. But please keep in mind that this community is still the beta version. So in the next few months, we will keep improving this community. So if you can share your experience, any comments, feedback with us, that would be very important and valuable to us to improve this community.
Welcome to the Building Bridges community of practice. This is your virtual collaborative space where ocean researchers and practitioners can connect, learn, and share. Here, you can access knowledge, discover new tools and resources, and build meaningful connections with people who share similar interests and needs. Our community aims to break down technical barriers, strengthen AI literacy, and inspire collaborative innovation. Join us today and explore everything this community has to offer. Creating an account is easy. You can sign up with your email or simply use an existing social account, such as Google. On the homepage, you'll find everything you need to get started, including quick tips for new members, our community guidelines, and answers to frequently asked questions. Next, head to the member directory to complete your profile. This is a private space, accessible only to community members. Once you join the space, click Add Member Profile to introduce yourself to others. You'll also see profiles from other members, including the AI experts. From here, you're ready to explore the main features of the community. Use the sidebar on the left to navigate through different spaces. Visit the Resource Center to explore online courses, workshop recordings, data and AI tools, and case studies. By clicking into each page, you can learn more about the resources and access the materials directly. Check out conversations to join discussions, showcase your organization or projects, and connect with AI experts who can help answer your questions. In Think Tank, you can browse all the topics shared within the community. Add your thoughts and insights by replying to existing posts. Or start a new discussion of your own. You'll also be able to explore different organizations and the projects they are working on, and you're welcome to share yours too. If you have a technical question and need guidance, Ask an AI Expert may be the right place for you. You can post your question there and see who responds, or browse the list of AI experts to find the right person and send them a direct private message. Also, don't forget to explore our community spaces, where members share upcoming events, career opportunities, and funding announcements. You're welcome to use these spaces to share opportunities from your own organization as well. And don't forget to share your feedback with us. It's incredibly valuable, and it helps us improve the community.
So thank you for watching this works video with us, and I'll hand it back to Colin for any questions, and we're happy to answer your questions.
Thank you very much, Yan, and once again, thank you to Yan, Alex, and Shayla for joining us today and providing some information on this very interesting initiative. We do have just a couple, just the one question so far. So yeah, if you do have any questions, please drop them in the chat. We'll spend the next 15 minutes or so going through some questions and doing some outreach here. Deborah has asked or mentions that the Digital Research Alliance of Canada mentioned that they're creating a national data space. Is CIOOS collaborating on that project? Would that be a solution for companies' security concerns? Anyone want to handle that one? Shayla? Maddie?
I'll take a stab at that one. Yes, absolutely. CIOOS is interested in being a national data space for the Canadian ocean domain. In terms of solution or security concerns, are you able to expand a bit on your specific concerns? Is it just securely sharing data?
Feel free to unmute, Deborah, if you want to share a little bit vocally or verbally, if you wish.
Yeah, sorry about that. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. No, I'm asking because a lot of companies, especially government related, like us at CIMAR, we have some rules to kind of restrict our access to AI because our data would be in somewhere that is not in Canada, probably. So they have some concerns about that data breaching or security. So I don't know if having a space here in Canada to store this data or would be like more secure than what we have today.
So in terms of CIOOS, we really do focus on open data, but I know there are initiatives underway with the Alliance to help support more restricted and more secure data. I'm not certain what types of or what that is going to look like yet. I'm not sure they do either, but there are definitely pipelines underway and things under development that will help Canadian organizations to manage their data and keep it secure.
Thanks, Shayla. Dave asks, what is the capacity for data storage? Can you accommodate large amounts of video or acoustic data?
So we do have limited volumes available for storage. We have several terabytes. I think we have 24 terabytes, but as I'm sure some of you are aware, that gets chewed up extremely quickly if you're looking at video or acoustic. So what we do is we look to see if we can partner with other organizations like the Federated Research Data Repository. Is there somewhere that the data itself can be hosted that is secure? And then we can create the metadata record through CIOOS and link out to a separate repository. So it's not required that all data accessible through CIOOS also be, or discoverable through CIOOS also be accessible directly through CIOOS.
Great, thanks. Thanks again. Lara asks, what is the data hosting situation? Is there an agreement with Google or similar provider?
So for CIOOS, the data hosting depends on the region. We are in the Pacific. They do use some commercial cloud providers like AWS. For the national, they use Calco Quebec, which is part of the Alliance, the Digital Research Alliance of Canada. In the Gulf of St. Lawrence, I believe they use a private Canadian company called Micrologique. And then in Atlantic, our infrastructure and our storage is through the Digital Research Alliance of Canada. So we have an allocation through the organization. But one thing that we're very cognizant of and something that we're looking to move towards is a fully sovereign solution. So fully hosted on sovereign Canadian infrastructure.
Great. Couple of questions relating to the AI side here. Hassan asks, do you provide any compute resources, and in brackets he says HPC multi-GPUs to run AI models? Jan or Alex, do you guys want to take a stab, or Shayla, if you wish? Up to you guys.
I'll take that one, I guess. We don't provide compute
impression is
resources.
no.
We are a data repository, not a compute one. However, there are resources available through the Alliance. So for anyone who's research-based or who has research partners, that is an option that I really encourage you to explore.
Okay. And thanks, Shayla. Anything else to add there, Alex? All right, carry on then. Jordy asks, will the Resource Center include a running list of AI models that are out there for various purposes? Who owns them and who to contact for potential use/collaboration? If so, might this include resources from outside the Building Bridges community, for example, an international space?
Will it? Maybe. That's a great idea. We're kind of still figuring out what all of this looks like as well, and part of that, it kind of depends on who's there with us. So if there's interest in that, that can absolutely be something that is part of the different compiled resources.
Great. Hassan had a second question. He's just wondering about how what is the outlook for this project? Like, how long do you expect this project to continue?
So the Building Bridges project itself ends in March of next year. However, we will be maintaining the community through CIOOS, so that will continue. CIOOS funding goes on 1 to 3 year cycles, so we have another 1.5 years left on our current cycle, and then we expect another cycle of funding to occur after that. So just the way that our funding is structured, we do have to re-up it, as most organizations do, but we do have a standing commitment from our primary funders to continue that.
Awesome, great. There are no questions currently. Oh, wait, that's a good comment. Thank you, Hassan. Yeah, just going to give everybody another quick second to see if there's a potential for any other questions here. However, I do want to mention that Shayla has dropped a couple of resources in the chat. She's dropped the CIOOS YouTube channel link. She's also provided a link to the Building Bridges Intro to Ocean AI and AI Literacy. And she's also put in the link there for Building Bridges website, buildingbridges.cious.ca. And I will make one last call as if I'm some sort of auctioneer. We're going to go once on questions. We're going to go twice on questions. And I think we're going to call it right there. Thank you very much to Shayla, to Alex, to Jan. One more time, thank you very much from econext, from our stakeholders, from our network. And thank you to everybody who joined us wherever you are in the country today. Thank you for joining in with us to take in this information. We hope that you participate or engage with Shayla, with Alex and Yan. Feel free to send us a quick note if you need any connections. You can email us at econext. This recording will be available. We'll make it available through our learning library on the econext.ca. So if you go to our website, you will find an on-demand library for a number of different training resources, webinars, those kinds of things. So we will make it available on our website. We'll also be sharing it with the team at CIOOS, so they may decide to put it up on their YouTube channel or whatever they may decide. So you may see this thing pop up again, especially if you're checking out their social media. Please feel free to share this information. Please feel free to share that this initiative is out there with any of the folks that you know who have access to data or are looking to engage with our integrated ocean folks here. So thanks very much again for everybody. Hope everybody has a fabulous Thursday, and talk soon. Thanks so much.